Welcome back guys to a new Cyberpunk video and to the new ultimate best Netrunner build after patch 2.11. I've optimized and included all the new tricks we found and created the ultimate new Netrunner build that is completely untraceable and completely indestructible. For the first time ever, I will also include a version of this build which can be completely used as a stealth Netrunner. The stealth Netrunner allows you to get out of combat whenever you want to, and you will be completely untraceable as long as overclock is active. There is truly no excuse not to be stealthy anymore, because with a single upload of memory wipe you can get out of combat and be back to stealth mode again. And additionally to that, the Arasaka Mark V Cyberdeck will completely block any tracing progress as long as your overclock is active. So you will literally never be traced and never be detected. However, if some enemies still manage to do that, you can simply upload a single memory wipe and everything is fine again. So the ideal queue for stealth Netrunner is actually consisting of either Synapse Burnout and memory wipe, or uploading memory wipe first and then Synapse Burnout. These two quick hacks work so great together because memory wipe costs a ton of RAM, and that is also allowing you to deal a ton of damage when using Synapse Burnout. With that, you can literally run around freely in any environment and just upload any quick hack to any target without ever worrying about being detected. The complete opposite of that is of course our max damage Netrunner. We will still use the Tetratronic Rippler Mark V and the additional 40% damage which it gives us when we upload a non-combat quick hack after a combat quick hack, and we will also use the embedded exploit boost, which in total will give us 100% extra damage for our quick hacks. My preferred playstyle of a Netrunner is of course the max damage Netrunner, which allowed me to pummel even max tag in several rounds one after another. With this build you will become so strong that you can actually toy around with max tags as if they were normal enemies. The ideal queue for max damage Netrunner is of course to use Synapse Burnout as your single quick hack on almost every enemy, because that will make sure that you will always stay in overclock. Then you can simply use the Yinglong or any other smart weapon of your choice to finish them off. I found the Yinglong to be one of the best possible weapons for that because of the additional electroshock chance, which works so great together when you also use shock and awe. With all this combined, you will almost kill your enemies before you can even upload a quick hack to them. And of course, all the footage of this video, including all those max tag kills, have been recorded on very hard difficulty. That simply shows you how crazily OP this build has actually become. And even if you run out of ammo, which will inevitably happen after 5 or 6 rounds of max tag, you can simply use your blade to finish them off. One of the main reasons why you are so indestructible is the countershell hack. Countershell will give you 50% mitigation chance whenever you lose 35% health, which will always happen when you execute a quick hack. And when you combine it with additional mitigation chance and mitigation strength items, you will get up to 100% mitigation chance with up to 75% mitigation strength. This will literally make you unkillable forever, since it only has a 6 seconds cooldown. With the improved healing, it will also be possible to get more health than ever before. As you already know, Borrow Time is the secret God mode perk in this game, which will always give you a free health item charge when you make a kill at 25% health. This will automatically be executed with Wire Monitor, but you actually don't have to use Blood Pump for it. You can just use a normal max stock, which gives you 126 health per charge. And if you drop the Blood Pump, we can actually use Heal on Kill, which gives us 37 health on every kill if you have 500 health. That is actually both way better than using Blood Pump, which makes Blood Pump completely obsolete. Even when you use max stock, there will be no animation during combat at all, and you can simply continue to fight. That not only saves a lot of capacity, but it also allows you to use other items such as Heal on Kill. The best queues for our Netrunners are of course to use either Ping or Memory Wipe as your first uploads, because these are covered quick hacks which will trigger the exploit damage boost. Then the second quick hack in your queue should definitely be Synapse Burnout, and if you want to max out your Synapse Burnout damage boost, you should use something that costs just a lot of additional RAM, such as System Collapse, or even use Memory Wipe as your final upload. So how do you actually play with this build? First, before you actually enter combat, you should activate your health item and activate Overclock. A really fun playstyle is of course a stealth Netrunner. Together with the optical camo and memory wipe, it will almost give you a voyeuristic approach to torture your enemies. No, it's definitely not the Netrunner standing next to you which is doing all this, guys. You can of course also use your handgun to make some quick stealth kills in case it is actually needed. But the most fun playstyle in my opinion is still the ultimate Cyber Psycho Netrunner, which is just destroying everything in Night City. If you ever run out of ammo, you can of course also use a katana to slice up and finish off your enemies. The only thing you have to change to switch between these playstyles is to switch your cyber deck, equip optical camo and switch between your weapons. This is the all-in-one Netrunner build that will definitely fit all your needs. But now let's finally check out the build, guys. By the way, if you want to support me creating more of these crazy builds and videos, then maybe consider to become a patron or YouTube member or check out our Discord server. Aside from the quick hacks, our first weapon of choice should be of course the Yinglong with its crazy additional electric damage and the 20% shock chance. It should be one of the first choices whenever you pick a smart gun. If you want to use a blade as a backup, I definitely recommend you to use the Byakko with its crazy additional attack speed. It is one of the fastest weapons in the game. And the best stealth pistol by far in the game is still the Pride. You should equip it with a Kanotsugu optics and with an XC10 Cetus silencer. Even if you don't have the legendary silencer, you should always equip a silencer that has 150% stealth damage. Having 50% stealth damage less is actually the same as if you have 20% damage reduction. Any silencer that has 150% stealth damage will give you up to 3000 damage for every headshot, and every silencer with 100% stealth damage will only give you around 2000 damage, no matter how high the damage reduction is on them. For the operating system, you can either use the Tetratomic Grippler or the Arasaka Cyber Deck. You should equip Cripple Movement, Cyberware Malfunction, Short Circuit, Ping, System Collapse and Synapse Burnout if you use the Rippler. And with the Arasaka Cyber Deck it is quite similar. We will go for Cripple Movement, Cyberware Malfunction, Short Circuit, Ping, but then we will go for Memory Wipe, System Collapse and Synapse Burnout. Always make sure that Synapse Burnout is the last one here in your list, because then it will be on the top position when you select your quick hacks, because Synapse Burnout is used and needed to prolong your overclock effect. Of course, if you play as a stealth Netrunner, you can also decide to put Memory Wipe in the last position so that Memory Wipe is the first in your list. In the other slots we will use a Smart Link to enable the auto lock-on feature for our smart weapons, a max stock healing item as already explained, which is better than Blood Pump, and any grenade you want, and of course don't forget to equip a helmet that reduces the enemy's quick hack upload time and an eyewear that speeds up your own quick hack upload time. For the Cyberware, you will need around 320 capacity depending on which variant you actually want to make for this build. Of course, we will also use the Edgerunner and Renaissance Punk to reach this level. You should definitely not change the crit chance and cooldown items, don't change the damage reduction and also don't change the healing item. Everything else can be changed, but I strongly recommend you to use this build as shown. In the frontal cortex you absolutely have to get X-Disc. X-Disc greatly reduces the time to upload your quick hacks, which is extremely useful when you hack cars. It will simply make them explode before they arrive, killing everyone inside, and it also greatly speeds up the upload of Memory Wipe. Absolutely mandatory is of course the axolotl. The axolotl is not only reducing the cooldown of your Reflex Tuner and Second Heart, but it will also add 1 second additional duration for every kill you make during overclock. Then the Cox2 Cybersomatic Optimizer, which gives you 100% crit chance for all your quick hacks, is of course also mandatory. You can of course also use the normal Bioconductor, which only gives you 40% crit chance, and combine it with the Cockatives Optics, but the Cox2 Optimizer is just definitely the better choice. For the operating system you can either go with the Tetratomic Grippler, which gives you the highest possible damage and also plus 12 additional RAM, or you use the Arasaka Cyber Deck if you want to make a stealth Netrunner. You can just use a pair of standard eyes, ideally one that gives you more quick hack damage and more critical damage. The arm slot should be left empty to save up capacity. If you really want to use a blade, then simply use the katana. Extremely important is the epimorphic skeleton, because the epimorphic skeleton also gives you plus 15% max health, which is extremely helpful as a Netrunner. Then go for the spring joints to increase your mitigation strength, and also for the kinetic frame to increase your mitigation chance. In the nervous system you can equip a stabber to increase the crit chance for your blade, then definitely go for the neofibers for more mitigation chance and mitigation strength, and of course the Reflex Tuner is almost mandatory because it slows down time and allows you to make a kill at low health to secure your additional health item charge from borrowed time. In the integumentary system I definitely recommend to use Shock and Awe. Shock and Awe is possibly one of the best items here in this list, because it always gives you an additional electroshock that almost kills every enemy around you when you get hit. Then the second item should be the Cogito Lattice. Cogito Lattice will give you 250% armor from that item's armor. So it only multiplies the armor from Cogito Lattice itself. It doesn't multiply your whole armor, but it is still a great item to use. However, if you want to make a stealth Netrunner, you should replace it with the optical camo. In the last slot, definitely put in the counter shell for the additional 50% mitigation chance for 4 seconds whenever you lose 35% health, which is always the case when you use quick hacks. So you will always get 50% mitigation chance combined with all the other items that will make you completely invincible whenever you use a quick hack during overclock. And this item only has a 6-second cooldown, so it will literally work all the time. Now hand slot, of course, we go for Smart Link to enable the Yinglong's auto lock-on feature. The Smart Link is definitely better than using only the tattoo because it also gives you additional stats and more RAM. For the health items, we can use both Second Heart and Heal on Kill. We don't have to use Blood Pump because we can also use the Biomonitor in combination with a normal max dog, and that can be used without even having any animation, and it will even give us more health. Of course, Biomonitor is absolutely mandatory to trigger the automatic use of healing items, and don't forget to use the Tendon for your double jump. For the additional stats, you should of course go for more quick hack damage, critical damage, health, and health item recharge speed. In the Stealth Netrunner version, of course, you should change the Tetratronic Rippler with the Arasaka Cyber deck, then you should change the Smart Link with the Tattoo, and then you have enough Cyberware to actually change the Cogito Lattice to Optical Camo, which is a bit more costly. With these changes, both builds will need exactly the same amount of capacity, and of course we will also use the same skills. Of course, for the skills we'll go for 20 body, which is absolutely mandatory, 20 tech and 20 intelligence. If you want to go for the maximum damage, you should spend every remaining point into cool, because every point in cool gives you over 1% critical damage. But if you want to have some blade skills, even though you will barely have the points for it, you can also go for Reflex 15. The body tree is completely stripped down to the middle, to the most important stuff. Of course, at the bottom we will get everything that connects to your health and health regeneration. Then we will get everything that is connected to adrenaline and improves your adrenaline. And the finisher will increase your health item recharge speed dramatically, which is really important if you want to rely solely on our blood pump. There's actually a lot more going on in intelligence, and we will almost got the entire tree. However, there are some things which got heavily nerfed, such as Blood Demon and the Data Recycler, which almost makes the entire left tree and the queuing thing very questionable to use. However, the things which didn't get nerfed are in the center, which are the Embedded Exploit, Big Damage Boost and the Overclock. So a Netrunner that only focuses on the center tree might also be very viable in the future. Of course, we will go up all the nodes in the center tree and pick up everything that gives us additional damage and additional health. And then we go for Blood Demon, even though I don't think it is really that important to get, since it was nerfed from giving you 40 health for every remaining quick hack to only giving you now 25 health. And we don't really have that much RAM to actually make use of it anymore. However, the RAM reduction on the left tree is still very useful, so we go all the way up the left tree as well, pick up Blood Demon. We also go for Q Mastery to get additional damage for every completely filled Q. Of course, we still go for Feedback Loop and Data Recycler just in case if we use our Qs, but actually more important is the increased explosive damage if we blow up a lot of cars from our car hacking. We will also go for the entire Smart Gun tree this time, so we go for Acquisition Specialist and we even go for Recirculation to refill our RAM. Then Target Lock and the Smart Synergy Finisher, which gives us an additional 25% damage for every enemy that is also affected by a quick hack. The tech tree for this build is completely standard. We will go for all things Cyber, License to Chrome and the Edgerunners perk in the middle to get the maximum amount of Cyberware capacity for our build. We'll go for Extended Warranty, Chrome Constitution for an additional 5% damage reduction, Renaissance Punk for increased capacity, then the driver update and Shipware Connoisseur. Then we will go for the left tree for Glutton for War, Health Freak and Pyromaniac. We'll pick up Friendly Fire and Heat Shield and everything that improves our health item and health item recharge speed. Especially Borrowed Time is one of the most important perks because it gives you instantly a free blood pump charge if you kill an enemy during your Reflex Tuner while you are at 25% health. In the Reflex Tree, if you only invest 4 points, you should actually only go for Slippery. If you want to pick up further skills in the Reflex Tree, of course you can do that, but you will have to remove points from the Smart Gun tree or from the Queuing tree to do that. In Cool, we also only go for Feline Footwork and for the Stealth perks. Everything else is basically only here to get more critical damage, because every point in Cool gives you over 1% critical damage. So if you don't have the DLC, you simply remove 10 points on Cool. Getting anything in the relic tree is not important. However, if you want to use monowire in your build, you can totally do that, but you can only spread quick hacks and monowire can also apply, so it can't be used for combat quick hacks. I hope you really like this new build. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and see you next time.